Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today's recipe, Polish potato bread with cheese and garlic. I have recorded the plain potato bread and today I decided to do it with the cheese and garlic, add some flavor. So the cheese I chose for today is Sargento 4 cheese Mexican style. So this is what I'm going to use, and then I have garlic and parsley put together as seasoning, and this is what I'm gonna put in that bread. Original recipe calls for russet potatoes. Russet potatoes are more on the drier side and more crumbly. My favorite potatoes are the golden potatoes. I like the buttery soft texture. So what I decided to do today is make two breads, one with the russet potatoes and one with the golden potatoes, and see the difference. And the reason why I chose to do this is because golden potatoes are my favorite. I'm from Poland, born and raised. I came to United States when I was 18 years old, and we had potatoes almost every day. So this is something that stayed with me until today. Potato, cheese, garlic bread. Welcome to my kitchen, and thank you for watching. As far as the ingredients go, I will need 2 medium russet potatoes. Well, for the other one, I will use gold potatoes, but they should be equal to about 1 pound. 1 cup warm water mixed with either 1 teaspoon of sugar or honey. Packet of active dry yeast. 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, which should be again about a pound. 1.5 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And of course, grated cheese and some garlic seasoning. And of course, first thing is to dissolve the yeast with water, warm water, and either sugar or honey. And then set aside. And to my flours, I will add that salt, 1.5 teaspoon. I love salty things, so for me, 2 would be fine. 1.5 should be plenty. If you like salty things, put 2. And of course a dish. And I want to put my flour in. And with the potatoes, so I have about a pound of those mashed russet potatoes here. You need to really work on it and mash it well so you don't have lumps in your bread when it's cooked. So I took my time and really made sure that it is nice and smooth. You don't need any butter to it, just the potatoes smoothly mashed. And you need to wait until, of course, they cool off a little bit, but you don't want cold potatoes because cold potatoes are going to be very hard to incorporate into the flour. So these are lightly warm, but not cold. Those are ready to be put in. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And yeast is nice and foamy, so it is ready. I'll just put it all in and mix it really well. Once it's mixed, I will come closer to show you the texture of it. And when you work with your hands and there are any lumps, you will feel it. You can just toss it. And as far as the consistency, it is very stretchy, a little bit gooey, but very soft and smooth. So now I will just cover it and wait until it doubles in size for about 45 to 60 minutes. It of course depends how warm it is in your kitchen. Just watch it. When you see it doubling size, then it is ready to be taken out and shaped. Okay, this is ready to be covered. And the golden potatoes, I will just do the same thing with the gold potatoes now, but The gold potatoes are more yellow. So maybe I should just come close once it's made and compare those two doughs to see if one is white and one is yellow. I'm just curious, just for fun. So again, flour, salt, the other kind of potatoes, and again, not cold and not hot, just kind of like look temperature, like look water. Lightly warm, just lightly warm. Couple tablespoons of olive oil and that foamy yeast. And again, if you wait too long and your potatoes are cold, most likely you will have more lumps in. Cold potatoes are much harder to mix in. And I have to say, I feel a difference between those potatoes. That the gold potatoes in that flour absorb water more, and it's not as soft as it is with the russet potatoes. So that's the first thing I noticed. I love experimenting, and by practicing, you learn the best. So that's what it is for me. I will come closer just to show the difference in color with the gold potatoes and the white potatoes. I'm just gonna wash my hands. It might not give you the exact color here because the light is not the best. But those are lighter and these are more yellowish. It might not be important at all. It's just for fun. Why not show it? So cover. And I will see you back in about 45 minutes to an hour. Depends how warm it is in your house. But you should see the dough doubling in size and then we can go to the next step. 45 minutes for me, but I live in Florida when it's pretty warm, so it might be faster for me than you, but you can see it doubled in size, if not tripled in size. So I need some flour on my board, and now I can take it out. So bubbly. So with this bread, I don't need to play like I do with the sourdough when I do stretches and folds 3 times. Once is enough on my board right here. Now the first thing I want to do is divide this into half because I want to make 2 breads out of this dough. 730 and this one, I think it was the same, 730. Okay, so they are both equal. So I will work with the first one and I need to stretch it out so I can put the cheese and garlic. The more coverage I have, the more flavor and more cheese and garlic I can put in. So garlic, for me that's plenty. I don't want it to be overwhelming. And now the cheese. Okay, fold it in half. Just gently squeeze. Okay, sprinkle a little bit of flour over it and then in the dish. So this is my first one. Okay, now cover and wait until it doubles in size again. So one is done. Now the other one. So same thing with this one. Stretch it out as much as you can so you don't break it. And cheese, same thing. Fold it. Roll it. So you can shape it into a loaf. And cover. And this will need to double in size before baking. Now, time for the other bread with gold potatoes. So now, same thing with this one. I will divide it in half and make 2 breads out of it. Okay, I've got 2 equal parts. Same thing here. I need to stretch the dough. Okay, and garlic salt. And sprinkle of cheese. Okay, fold it in. Okay, you just have to do gentle so you don't break the dough and the layers. Some flour on the bottom, and in the dish it goes. And now, wait time. Have an hour, 45 minutes, it depends how warm it is in your house. When you see it double in size, then it is time to put it in. But I would preheat the oven at least 15 minutes earlier. Now the fun part, clean up. My breads are ready. Oven preheated to 375. And I will set a timer for 35 minutes to check if it needs additional 5 minutes or so. But it should take between 35-40 minutes. And 5 minutes before I take them out, I will sprinkle some cheese on top to melt. Okay, now time to put the other 2. And 35 minutes. Okay, I will see you when the alarm rings to put the cheese on top of it. Okay, so the bottom breads are done, and the top I want to sprinkle some cheese on. And the bottom oven, for some reason, is always a few minutes faster, even though the temperature is the same. Here's the first one and the second one. In so many of my videos, I keep repeating myself, and I apologize, but every oven is not created equal. I had 3 before, and every time I got a new oven, I had to learn it first. So it took me a month or 2. Sometimes when I put my goodies on the bottom, it burns the bottom. Sometimes if I put it on top, it burns the top. Sometimes it doesn't distribute the heat the right way. So you gotta experiment a few times to really know how your oven works. If you ever come close to the oven, you will notice that some of them have the spiral heating elements on top, and some have it on the bottom. So that's one part, but the other one, is it configured the right way? Because sometimes it's not. There's lots of people who had problems and they had to put thermometers in to check if the temperature they did set is exactly the same as it is once the oven is on. And many times the difference was up to 20 degrees. So again, learn your oven, pay attention to it, and once you figure it out, your cooking experience, baking experience will be even better. But those breads will need to cool off. They look really nice. I'm gonna take my camera and come closer. And once, of course, cooled off, I will cut it in half and show you how it looks like. But the smell is great. Here it is, nice and crunchy. And smells like garlic. Smells really nice. Well, it smells fresh. That's what you have when you bake your own breads in the house. That smell of freshness. I'm trying to come as close to the camera as possible. You can see the melted cheese, crunchy top, and then inside of the bread, you can see how airy, how fluffy, how soft. Heavy potatoes, it seems like, but nope, the bread is just soft and wonderful and full of flavor. Smacznego, everyone, and happy baking! And now time for the verdict. I have cut up those 2 loaves into pieces and gave it to 4 of my neighbors and friends and my husband and waited for voting for the consensus, but there was none. The bread, it doesn't matter if I use the golden potatoes or the russet potatoes. If it comes to taste, they both received 10 out of 10. The difference I noticed is that with the russet potatoes, my bread was much puffier, grew bigger, was much more airy. So it was more about the looks of it than the taste. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.